taking new state figures depending on the position of the policy.
Hey guys, this is Roman Arsafes, and today is the day when finally I decided to make this kind of video. It's a full stream of how I mix a song, kind of my mixing tutorial. I'll do this video in 4 parts. The first one will be kind of preparing the project for mixing and setting up all the tracks, setting up the drums, etc. The second part will be mixing the drums. The third part will be mixing the bass, and the fourth, mixing guitars. So here's our project. This is my song. It'll be on my upcoming EP. I stripped it of all the lead guitars, vocals, keys, all that stuff. So we just have Midi drums. Actually, these were played by a live drummer. It's Yeki from Serbia. He plays in Destiny Potato, for example. I triggered all his stuff, all the cymbals, kick, snare, toms, everything, so that I can use my own samples for the stuff. In this mix, I'll be using the Getgood Drums Periphery 3 session samples, so here they are. The only thing that's not from the P3 session is the snare drum. Sorry, yeah. So the snare is from the first Getgood Drums. It's the signature low snare. So yeah, I like it, so I'll be using that one. Toms, P3, cymbals, yeah, everything else is P3. So here, if you need it, the kick is the 2216 one. The snare, yeah, it's the sig low. Toms, I think, yeah, the clear one. No, sorry, yeah, the clear ones. Cymbals, here you can see them. You can pause the video and just look at it. I made some tweaks in the cymbal matrix they have here. Yeah, this is the one. So the splash cymbal is pretty low in the drum mix of the whole plugin itself. So I made it kind of higher in the overhead balance. Everything else is pretty much around 0. Yeah, the left crash is a little higher. So yeah, in the rooms it's all 0. I didn't touch anything, and I'm using both the room tracks that the plugin gives us. So yeah, kind of that's how I go with the Getgood Drums plugin. I route them like this into the Cubase mixer, so it's my kick drum. All the snare drum mix are going into one track because I like it that way. I don't like to tweak top and bottom snares like differently. I just like them in one bus, and I treat them as one single instrument. Then I have my hi-hat, soloed, ride, toms. I also treat toms as just one bus because I don't like messing up stuff like in different tom tracks. So yeah, I just like this. It keeps things kind of simple, and yeah, that's what we're after. Then the overhead track, spot cymbal tracks. I believe it's the China, the stack, and the splash that go into that spot channel. Yeah. And room 1, room 2. So that's the drum routing I have here. As you can see in the piano roll, I don't actually use any drum map, and I've been doing this for like, I don't know, 8 years. And I kind of just memorized where I like the drums to be on my piano roll, and that's how I roll. So yeah, I hate drum maps. This is the way I do it. I don't think that people like this stuff, but yeah, that's how I like it. So I just kind of have my own custom drum map that I'm used to. So the kick, snare, and toms are mainly general Midi drum map kind of stuff. So it's like, yeah. And the cymbals are set up, in my case, in a pretty like strange way. But I think I find it like, I find this way pretty useful because I keep them like from high to low. You can see from B here, and it goes down like crash 1, crash choke, crash 2, crash choke, China, stack, splash, ride bell, ride. I think this is the pedal hi-hat. Yeah, this is the pedal, the closing pedal hi-hat, the opening pedal hi-hat, and the hi-hat opens gradually as we go further. So yeah, that's how I keep my drum map. Now talking about the dynamics of my MIDI drums. They differ a little from VST to VST, but with Getgood Drums I keep it kind of like this. My kick, mainly it's randomized from, let me see, from I'm sorry, yeah, from 110 to 120, so I never use the maximum velocity of the kick drum. I just don't like how it sounds, and yeah, I keep it maximum to 120. So that's my kick drum. If I need softer parts, of course, it becomes softer, right? Like here, it's like really, really low. My snare drum for the rock parts or the metal parts, it's mostly on maximum. I keep it just dynamic for breaks and for softer stuff. But I like how the Getgood Drums snares, they sound at maximum velocity. It's like they're really hard hitting, and so yeah, at maximum it sounds great. Toms pretty much the same as the snare, so if I just want like a hard hit, I keep it at 127 at maximum, and for softer stuff I just like toggle it as I want. In this song I kept many of the dynamics, I kept them as they were when the drummer played them. So I just wanted that natural feel on breaks and softer stuff. The only thing I really redid was the velocity of the kick drum. So I just kept it like randomized from 110 to 120. For the cymbals, I use, I just try to use maximum dynamics on crash cymbals and chinas, stacks, splashes, yeah. All the kind of accent and crashing stuff. So, because they just, in a really dense mix, they sound better with maximum dynamics. So in some parts, I just keep them like swinging from maximum to a lower dynamic to get a groovy feel. I think I'll find a part somewhere with that. Just a sec. Just a second. Yeah, well, this is not a crash, this is a right cymbal, but you can see that the first hit is strong and the second is like weaker to get that groovy, like ta-ta-ta-ta-ta feel kind of. So I use the same thing on crashes, chinas, and all the other stuff. For hi-hats, for the open hi-hat, I also use them like the maximum dynamic 127 kind of thing. And just for more like gospely ghost note stuff, of course I lower it down manually. Or if I have a good MIDI track from a drummer from any kind of electronic like E-kit, where the dynamics are pretty much natural, I may keep them if they kind of click with the VST plugin, because it doesn't always happen. Sometimes you have to tweak it because not all plugins eat MIDI data like the same. So yeah, that's what I do with drums. I think I pretty much covered it all. Yeah. Oh yeah, I have two tricks. I don't know if anyone does it, but yeah, I do it. So the first one I already showed you. It's the logical editor thing, so that I can randomize kick drums, breaks, rolls, everything. So logical editor. Editor. Sorry. Standard set, random velocity 60 to 100, because that's what it says. And then I just put what I need, and it randomizes all the velocity of the selected MIDI data to those numbers. It's really cool because you don't have to kind of draw velocity curves on drums. You can just randomize them on not more than the 10 that randomizing shouldn't go more than 10, because it starts just like getting wacky and crazy, and then you have to manually tweak like too much stuff. So that's what I do. And then when I need to accent stuff or make stuff softer, I just go manual. That's my first thing that I do. And then if I get, for example, MIDI drums not played by a live drummer, but just like sampled stuff, I select all the drums. I go into quantize setup. I choose the highest value of the note length and triplet, so that I get the least possible note length that I can. And then I use the 6 ticks in random quantize. Here it is. I leave everything else as it is, and we just put apply quantize, and it kind of humanizes the beat a little, so that we don't get that robotic sample drum sound that everyone hates. So I do all my stuff that where I use MIDI drums like that, and it gives that live feel. You kind of feel a drummer even if he's not there. So yeah, those were drums. Yeah, and by the way, sorry I didn't mention it in the beginning, but I'll mention it in the info for the video. I'm using Cubase for all my stuff. So all the techniques that I'll be showing, they'll be in Cubase, but if you're smart enough, you can like use them in any DAW you have. I don't think it'll be a problem. So yeah, let's look at the project, how I have it organized. So yeah, first I keep the drums MIDI track. Then I keep the bass, so that if I need to edit the bass or guitar, de-ice, anything, I can actually see the drum track here. So I try to keep all the guitars and bass right under the MIDI drum track, so I can just see it visually and tweak stuff. So yeah, this is the bass DI, guitar de-ice. Then I keep all the drums, which go as outputs from the Contact 5. Here they are. I just do it like this. So it's the same thing in, for example, Superior Drummer or Easy Drum or anything. They're all pretty much similar, so you just need to kind of put them into the mixer of Cubase and tweak them in Cubase, not in Contact, of course, because you can't do much stuff here. Yeah, so we have the drums. Then I have two effects buses. It's parallel compression that we'll see what I'll do with it later, and a reverb bus for snare, toms. Yeah, for snare and toms. And then I have 4 group tracks. It's an overhead track, a drum track, like a drum bus, sorry, bass bus, and guitar bus for the rhythm guitars, because we don't have any leads and stuff here. We just have only 2 guitars, 1 bass, and drums. I just decided to keep it really simple for this first tutorial, because I just want to show you how to achieve a cool, like modern metal mix without the details. So I just want to show you how to make the structure of the sound, which makes it metal, right? And other stuff, maybe I'll talk about it in another tutorial, maybe not, I don't know, we'll see. So first of all, we have our drums here. So now they're totally raw without any processing going on. Yeah, you see I didn't even put them in their group tracks, so yeah. So I'll show you all the steps I make while mixing a track. I kept this whole project like totally raw. Even, as you can see, I didn't even reamp the DIs, so I'll be reamping them with you. I'll show you how I make my sound with the Fractal AX8. Here it is. We'll be making a patch from scratch, and I'll show you the exact way how I work with it. So I hope that'll help. Yeah. So, well, let's start. Let's listen to what we have here. I actually made 3 sections here. You see 1, 2, 3. These are kind of the sections that I want to look into, because they kind of have the most kind of different sections of the song, because here we have some toms, just toms, right? Some hard-hitting toms. Here we have just some cymbals. Here we have some riffs, blah, 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 blah. And the guitars also kind of differ. Here we have some palm muting stuff. Here's some just twangy stuff, and here's some chords. So we'll be covering kind of all the aspects. I hope so. So yeah, first of all, let's listen to what we have, all right? So yeah, totally raw stuff. And now we'll try to make a mix. Well, let's, I think, first to reamp stuff. So we'll start with the guitar sound. We'll start with the guitar sound. So here I actually have my audio interface is like super multi-channeled. Yeah. So I'm just keeping a stereo mix for the whole mix and one mono kind of output for reamping. I'm using a Radial Pro RMP Studio reamper for like years already. So it's just here. I don't know. I think it's pretty good. I didn't even try any others, but yeah, does the trick. So let's see what we can do. Let's just put this into the reamp bus. So yeah, now it's going into my Fractal unit, and now we'll just make a rhythm patch from scratch. Yes. Okay. So first of all, we'll just connect this. Yeah. Here we have the DI. Now we can put in an amp. Let's shut that thing up. So my my guitar sound is like super simple. It's just an amp and a cab. That's all. I don't use overdrive pedals. I don't use any EQ, any compressors, anything. And even my gate is like set pretty low just to eliminate the really, really soft hum that I have, because I don't actually have that much noise in my guitar tracks, because my guitar is kind of high-end. My audio interface is high-end, so I get a pretty clean signal. And yeah, and I just go into, to record the DI tracks, I just go into my Fractal Audio interface. I get one dirty channel and I get one clean channel. I just route it that way. Route. Is that the right word? Probably. I'll be using the word root, so hope you know what that means. Maybe I'm not pronouncing it right. So yeah, and I just get the DI track from the Fractal. It's just a clean but totally bypassed signal, and that's how I do it. So for the amp, my kind of go-to amp is the Fast Modern 3. I like how it kind of sounds correct, like kind of crunchy, not too much of a like crushing high gain amp like some Mesa stuff, or I don't know. It sounds more like the voicing is pretty vintage, but it still has that modern kind of feel. So you don't get it doesn't sound like I don't know, a really overdriven Fender amp or something. It's a metal amp, but it sounds a little kind of vintagey voicing. It has that kind of thing. So yeah, that's what I like. And for the cab, well, I have kind of several options. Just a sec. Yeah, I use only custom cabs. I don't use the factory Fractal cabs, but because, I don't know, not my kind of stuff. I know that people use them and get pretty good results with them, but I have my own stuff and I like it more. So my first go-to is the Ownhammer Mesa 412 cab. Here I have a live version of it and a studio version. We're using the studio version 1 inch from the speaker. I think it's kind of a mix of, for sure, SM57 and I don't remember the second mic, but probably it's 121. So yeah, I think that was the mix, but I'm not really sure. You can go to the Ownhammer website and just check it out. So that's the first one, and the second one that I use is the ML Zilla Misha K100 cab. It's like a totally different cab. It's more, it kind of sounds weird on its own, but in a mix it really does cool stuff. So I use it mainly for my own music. I don't use it for my clients because I don't think it's a sound that like normally people would go after. But I kind of found a way how to use it in a way that I like. So that's what I use for my own stuff. But today we'll be using the Ownhammer cab because it's like more user friendly and metalhead friendly. So yeah, I don't tweak anything in the cab section. I leave it as it is. In the amp, the first thing I do, even without listening to it, I go into the preamp section and I put the definition to maximum, and it kind of emulates a treble boost, because I don't like the sound of overdrive pedals. I don't like the saturation they give, and I don't like the kind of filtered voicing they give. Because they, in my opinion, they kind of make the amp sound smaller. I like big sounding amps, big sounding tones, so this definition trick kind of just works for me. So let's take a listen to this part, for example. Yeah. Okay, we need a little more gain. I think I'll just boost this thing and yeah, that's the enough amount of gain I need. So it's a little harsh on the treble side, so let's just tweak that out. I like to keep the raw tone pretty bassy, kind of, because I'll better just chop it off than not have it, you know. So the depth goes pretty high. Yeah, the bass is around noon, and pretty much I don't touch anything else because, I mean, yeah, it works. Because in a combination of my pickups, my playing technique, and my like guitars, everything, it all sounds good just as it is. I just need to tweak just a bit of things, as you can see. And yeah, that's my sound. Maybe just a little more gain, just so that it's a little more saturated. Yeah, that works. Let's reamp the track. So we'll be having 3 new tracks, 2 for the guitars and 1 for the, 2 for the bass ramping. So there'll be amp, guitar, I screwed up, amp, guitar left, amp, guitar right. This'll be the bass clean and the bass distortion. Okay, I'll reamp just these parts that we'll be working with, so that we don't reamp the whole song. I think it's around 8 minutes or something. Okay, let's go. Yeah, just let me check it 1 sec. Yep. Okay, reamping. Now you can drink some tea, coffee, or anything. Okay, actually I think that's enough. We don't need the other stuff. Okay, let's reamp the double track. Yeah, as you can see, I already cleaned up the DIs a little so that, so that you don't think that I'm sloppy or something, which I'm not. Yeah, actually, I just cleaned them so that you get a better picture of what's going on, because mostly when I'm doing my stuff and stuff for my clients, I don't clean up DI tracks. I reamp them just as they are, and then I clean up the reamped tracks, because sometimes you don't see enough of stuff, because I clean tracks actually not with my ears. I just clean them visually, because I pretty much know how a track should look like, and I just clean them by eye. So with a DI track, you don't always get the right kind of picture, because as you can see here, we don't have like almost anything. Yeah, it's almost like a fade out thing. But in the amp track, it may be a part that you better leave in the mix, because when people clean tracks too much, they sound like really robotic, and that's not cool. I don't like that. So yeah, I usually clean up the amped tracks, not the DIs. But today I did it like this so that you have a clean, nice sound. Okay, let's reamp the double track. Yeah, and so as you can see, I'm not cutting anything out of the video. I'm reamping in real time, blah, blah, blah. Just that so you can kind of get a feel of my workflow. And so that it all just gets to you naturally. So just bear with me. This is how much time it takes. So, yeah. Now we'll work with reamping the bass. Okay, for this, okay, we don't need this anymore. So for a bass, I would normally, I kind of have two different techniques for approaching bass. The first one is like for a heavy, for a heavy part. For a heavy part, I get 2 tracks of a bass guitar. The one is just a clean DI without any amps, any cabs, anything, just the DI track. So let's just do it right now. So yeah, actually we'll make one more track. It'll be bass clean, bass kind of heavy clean, and bass distortion. So for the bass clean, we'll just take the DI. Oh, sorry, for the heavy clean, yeah, we'll take the DI, and the distortion track will be reamped. And for clean bass, which I have like 2 little parts here, which are not heavy, they're just bass, and in the final version of the song, some acoustic guitars and some keys there. I use just like a classic bass amp cab kind of situation. So yeah, let's reamp the heavy bass part. So for the cab, today we'll use that ML Zilla Misha K100, because in this mix with these guitars, I think it's gonna sound pretty cool, because it's like a different kind of voiced sound, so it just won't sink in the guitar sound. We'll be able to actually hear the bass pretty good. So for the amp, normally for heavy bass tones, I go just a sec. I go for the British preamp thing here. Oh my god. Yeah, here it is. The Brit Pre. I think it's the Marshall, some kind of a Marshall preamp kind of thing. I forgot what it's called. Doesn't matter. Let's listen. So I want it to be a little brighter, for sure. We can add a little depth just to cut it out again, but this track in the mix, it'll be like heavily high-passed. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, cool. So let's try to reamp the bass. Okay, we won't need this little part because this is just a clean bass, so we can reamp starting from here. as you can hear, there are some kind of noisy bits, for example here. Yeah, the noise is kind of pretty high. I guess that's just a thing with bass guitar pickups, or I don't know, because I have that problem with all basses I tried. And the gain is pretty high here in the Fractal, so maybe that's also an issue. But anyway, usually if I need those long kind of notes in the song and I need them distorted, I kind of just filter it out with some automation. But in this song we don't need it because this little part is going clean actually. So we'll just do this, right? Okay, and we need to cut this part off also. And this one. Yeah. Okay, so now we have the two tracks we need for the heavy parts. And now we'll reamp the small, the more light parts. So for that, we'll just go and get something super classic. Yeah, the SV bass will totally work. And yeah, for bass I'll go with just a factory cab because this part is, I mean, it's not that much that important in this particular mix, so I won't actually like search for the ideal cab. I'll just see what they have here, and yeah, let's try, I don't know, this one. Because mainly I actually just even have those clean bits reamped with some software plugin that I don't know, with anything. I even sometimes use guitar cabs for that, so yeah, this isn't too much of an interest in this mix. Let's just see what we have. So the main goal is just to have a clean, like almost DI tone, just amplified a little to have some kind of, just a bit of grit, and just filter out the kind of the messy high frequency that a bass DI can have, because we don't need those in a clean track like this where there will only be acoustic guitars and stuff. It should be just smooth and clean. Yeah, we can boost it a little. Let's try it here. Yeah, this works for me. So let's reamp it. Oh, it's too quiet. It needs a little volume, so just let's do this. Yeah, that's enough. And the next part. Okay, that's all we need, and we're pretty much done with the reamping here. So we don't need the fractal anymore. I'll let it be there. Okay, so let's clean this up. We don't need this little part. And this one too. And this one. So here we have the bass clean track, heavy clean for the heavy stuff. So yeah, this is where we destroy this one and this one. Yeah, the fade is still here. Okay, so now we kind of have all the tracks we need. So we can make just a folder DI and put all this stuff there so that we don't just see it. Yeah, we don't need it anymore. Now let's take the left and right amp guitar. I pan all my rhythm guitars every time, 100% left and right, no other way of doing it, and staying like out of a mess. So that's my only way of doing it. Different people do it differently, that's how I do it. So yeah, 100% left and right. Now we have a fade here that I would like to make more drastic, so that's what we'll do. So yeah, we're taking this to the guitar group. We're taking all the bass tracks to bass group. Right, now with the drums, what we'll do, we'll take all the shells, so the kick, the snare, the toms, and the room drums, or sorry, room tracks, and we'll put them into the drum group. So let's do it like this. So yeah, the drum group, in my opinion, kind of it's the main drum group, and it'll in the end it'll contain all the drums that we have. So I just put these shells just first of all, but now I'll show you how I'll treat all the cymbals and the parallel stuff, so the reverb and compressor. So I'm taking the hi-hat, the ride, the overhead track, and the spot mic track, and I'm putting it all into one group, the overhead group. So here it is. And the overhead group goes into the drum group. You'll see why I'm doing this later in the mixing part of the video. So yeah, and the compressor and the reverb also go into the drum bus. So now when we have the drum bus solo, we have all the drums inside. So that's what we need. The bass, yeah, we have all the bass, guitars, sweet. So yeah, so I think that's pretty much it with the preparation kind of part. So we're kind of ready to mix, and that will be in the second part of this video, so kind of stay tuned. Okay, so now we can proceed to part 2 of this video, the most interesting part, the mixing part. So as you can see, I am wearing my mixing hat. So probably without it, you won't get like any results, but yeah, let's try. So here is our little project. We have all the guitars, bass, reamped. We have the drum Midi ready for battle. We have all the samples. Yeah, the Getgood Drums. Okay, contact, thank you. Yeah, Getgood Drums with the Periphery 3 sample pack and the snare from the old the signature series, the low snare. Yeah, so that's what we talked about in part 1, and in this part we'll be mixing all this stuff together. So first of all, let's just listen what we have. Probably we are not gonna like it. Yeah, so this is like super raw. The bass sounds like a tractor. So normally, of course, I'm starting with drums. Yeah, and one thing I like to discuss is, many sound engineers I know talk much about the gain staging kind of process, and I know many people who like to get their project like pretty much balanced in volume before actually starting to mix. That's not what I do. I don't like that kind of approach. I mix because I just have my own kind of workflow which I developed like for years already. So I just start to do it just from the drums, absolutely not listening to what the guitars and bass are doing at the moment. So, and yeah, even more, I'll just mute them. We don't need them now. We'll do all the volumes when we start mixing those instruments, because that's how I roll. Okay, yeah, we have the drums here. We already heard them. I mean, the Getgood Drums sample library is actually like really fantastic. Those drums are sounding really good just right out of the box. So compared to, of course, live drums and to some sample libraries, to different libraries, this one needs not as much processing as you could think. So we could get away with just pretty much little processing. Yeah. So let's see what we have. First of all, we'll of course do the kick drum, the bass. I mean the bases of the mix. No, sorry, we don't have any kick drum here. Yeah, this part is loaded with kick drums. Okay, so you can see, if you can see, I don't know, probably. There is a little tail behind the bass drum with some kind of like studio noise, probably the leg getting off the pedal or something. We don't need that, so we'll just like filter that out from the beginning. So for the bass drum, we'll be using the metric halo channel strip. And first of all, because it has a really awesome gate, yeah, so that's what we use. And yeah, let's check it out. Okay, we can take this a little higher in the mix. We can see how far we can get, actually. Okay. We can go like the release to one. I go from like 150 to 200. Not too little, not too much. Like, yeah, let's leave it at 161 and 85. Right. Keep the attack on auto. Pretty much works. Yeah, so it's working. Actually, like, to keep my workflow not as slow as it could be, for some of the instruments I actually have my own kind of presets. Yeah, for this one I don't have it, so okay, let's start from scratch. Okay, so first of all, I'm keeping the attack around like 25, 20, from 20 to 30. I think even from 25 to 30. Let's keep it like 26 and we'll see how it works. On the release, yeah, around 200. It's pretty good. And we'll just be lowering the threshold. Yeah, that word always annoys me. Sorry. And we'll see how it works. Yeah. Oh, sorry, the ratio goes up to like around 4, like 3 point something. We'll just see with how it feels. Yeah, that's too much. I don't like the bass drum to be like too over compressed when it sounds like, you know, yeah, actually Yeki, who played the drums like several years ago, I heard this from him, and it really made me crack. It's like he said that I don't remember whose, but someone's kick drum sounded like you're playing on 2 ride cymbals with your kick pedal. So we don't want that. That sounds bad. Like, sorry. Yeah, we just want a good body, fair amount of click, and we just need to tighten it up because it already sounds, the kick sounds great. We just need to tighten it up just a little. So yeah. Actually, I think the release is too much. Let's go a little lower. Yeah, that's better. Because it was just eating those double notes. That's not good. So yeah, that's cool. Yeah, step 1 was actually the equalizer. Sorry. For equalizing, I use almost only Fabfilter Pro Q2 because it's just fabulous. Yeah. And yeah, let's take the compressor out because that was too fast. So yeah, let's start with the EQ. Yeah, this is actually the kind of step 1. Sorry for that. I'll start like every instrument, even bass, kick drum, everything. I'm starting it with a high pass because that's what you should do, or your mix will get like super muddy and stuff. You'll see. So let's see what we have. As you can see, the low, the kind of low body of the kick goes like from, let's say around, yeah, around 80, but we'll do a little trick, like after equalizing this track, that'll get actually a really nice low end that the like thumping low end that you hear on in modern mixes. So now we're just filtering stuff most of all, because we don't actually really need to sculpt this kick. It sounds awesome. So yeah, we're doing just this. So taking it even, I think, to a 60, because we don't really need anything below that, because it just doesn't work in heavy mixes. It just makes mud. Now you can see that maybe we could use a little more high end to match the low end of the kick at the moment. So let's just find a sweet spot just by doing this frequency kind of sweep. Yeah, I think this can work. Just a little, nothing too drastic. It already sounds good. So then, to clear things up even more, we will cut around 200, 250. We just see how it works right now. Because you don't actually need that frequency range in a kick. You'll use it for some, actually it is, that frequency range is pretty muddy itself, but we'll get some information from bass and guitar there. So in the kick we like don't need that at all. Yeah. Now I kind of have an idea of filtering the like 400 to 600 hertz from like almost everything. So we'll do this with the kick too, and as you can see, there is a little bump there. Yeah, here it is. That's not sounding good, so we'll just take it off. Yeah. Okay, so for the beginning, that's pretty much it for the kick drum. So let's leave it as it is, and then we'll maybe tweak just a little when we get the rest of the mix done, so that we can see how it works with the bass, with guitars, with other drums and stuff. So yeah, we're just leaving it as it is at the moment. Now let's listen with the compressor that we made. Yeah, sounds pretty nice. Now, a thing that I always do, I use the bass plugin, the R-Bass from Waves. Okay, Waves, you're so fast. Thank you. Yeah. From 50 to 60, more, I think, for metal music, more 60 than 50, because like 50 seems a bit too low sometimes. So, and we just this R-Bass thing, it just makes up low end, what's it called? Sorry. Low end harmonics. It brings it up in the instrument which you use. I mean, normally it's made for like bass guitar, but who cares, right? So see, this is the clean signal. Now we add this. You see, the thump immediately comes in. Now the kick starts to work. So yeah, I'll leave it pretty much at -12. Sounds nice to me at the moment. Then we'll see. Yeah. After this, I'll saturate it just a little. I use the Waves tape saturator, normal bias. We take the flutter thing, like take it out, leave everything else as it is, and I'll just bring it into the sound so that you can hear what it's doing. Yeah, you see? We just need just a little. It should be really subtle in the mix. We don't have to actually hear it. It'll just like glue things up later. So yeah, you can actually just like overdo it a little and then just back it off, and that'll work like awesome. Yeah, works for now. Okay, that's the kick drum. Yeah. And first of all, before we go to the snare and the other shells, I'll probably make up the 2 parallel effects tracks. So the first is the compressor, and as many people, I use the Softube FET thing. Yeah, here it is, Softube. Awesome thing. I have my own preset here. Yeah, here it is. This is my go-to preset for all the parallel drum stuff. Yeah, I just put it there and I don't tweak it anymore. So yeah, you can pause the video and just look at the settings and kind of try to duplicate that. That's all for the parallel compression. Later you'll see how it's used. I just want to keep it here so that I don't have to do it later. With the reverb, lately I started using the IR Live thing from Waves. They have this short plate, live short plate 1. Really like how it sounds on drums. Pretty much just maybe making the reverb time a little more, just a little. and I'll be filtering stuff from it later when we start to use it. So I'm just putting an equalizer here just so that it's there. Okay, now we can send a little kick drum to that thing already, to the compressor. I'm doing everything post fader so that we don't have any like unwanted stuff when we start tweaking volumes on different shells, because so that we have the amount going into the effect the same as the volume. I mean, like parallel to the volume, so that we don't have any problems with that. Okay, let's see what's going on. Yeah, that's pretty much, I think. Let's leave it like -20, and then we'll just see how it glues with the rest of the stuff. So now the snare drum. You see how awesome it sounds already. There's also one thing I would like to talk about. It's in the Getgood Drums snare. They have 2 top mics here and like 1 bottom mic. So I kind of like the second top mic more. So I'm giving it some privilege here, and the first like just backs it up, so we can just solo it. Yeah. The first, it kind of bursts, I mean the second top mic, it kind of bursts open. So I just like that sound, I just keep it that way. And again, it's all just bust into one bus, yeah. Okay, so we can start with an EQ this time, as the good people do. So let's just see what's going on. Yeah, again, we are filtering stuff, we don't need this because there's none of this actually. Yeah, okay, here we have the body. Yeah. So that's what we cut from the kick drum, so we don't have that messing around. I kind of like how it sounds already, so I'll just take that little ringing thing out. Let's search. Okay, this is the first one, and there's... oh, sorry. Just a little, because I don't actually think that you should like kill the snare ring, because it also gives cool character to the sound. So yeah, I'm pretty much leaving it there, just filtering just a little, just to clean things up, and a little more here. Yeah, we don't need that. Okay. And just, again, boosting a little highs for the smack kind of thing. Now let's see. Yeah, we need that kind of sizzling high information. Maybe just a little less. Yeah, it kind of works. Let's see what's going on in the 500 range that I love so much. Nothing good. But actually, it's clean enough. We'll just see how it glues together with other stuff. So pretty much, yeah. At the moment, this is it. So for mixing snare, I actually started using this maybe just like a couple of months ago. Didn't use it before. I was using the Softube, the TubeTech CL1B for the snare, the compressor. Now I'm using the Fabfilter C2 because it's awesome. And probably I have my preset here. I had a preset for the P3 snare, but then I went back to this Getgood, the first snare, low snare, yeah, I don't know how to call it. So, and I made another preset for that. So let's just see what I do here. The threshold, again, we'll just put it to 0 and we'll see what happens. Ratio around 4. Attack, yeah, 29. I keep it like from 25 to 30 something. Release 123. I can go till 150, but here, yeah, we have 123. No dry signal. We don't need that. Wet, 0. Yeah. Well, everything's pretty simple. So let's just see what it does. I try to get like around -7, -8. I mean like 7-8 dB of gain reduction on my snare. Kind of, it's pretty noticeable, but we'll get away with that. So let's see what we have. We're getting the threshold down. Yeah. Oh yeah, we have like around 7 now, 7, almost 8. I find that pretty good at the moment, so we're leaving it again as it is. And with the snare too, I'm using the R bass around 100 hertz, just a little, just to give a little body, a little more body. Yeah, now we're not hearing it, and you see that it maybe sounds a little dull now, but in the mix it really gives a cool kind of thump to the snare. So you'll hear it later. So we're just keeping it, yeah, around -15 maybe. Okay, this sounds good. Again, we are using the Kramer, I don't know. The tape stereo, again, normal, no flutter, nothing. And again, we're just overdoing a little and bringing it back. Same as kick, just to saturate it a little and to kind of tame the transient, so we have just more headroom. Yeah, I kind of use it as a level, as a limiter also. So let's see. Yeah, this is bad. Yeah, this is pretty good. I'm not using a gate here, as you can see, because there's a sample drum library. On a live in a live situation, of course, there would be some heavy gating there. But now we're mixing sample drums, so screw that. Okay. Now we can hear that the kick is overdoing a little in the low department. I will not touch the R bass at the moment. I'll just give a little less lows on the equalizer. Just a little. And maybe a little less volume. Okay, at the moment we're leaving it as it is. Now we can start with toms. We have the toms here playing kind of their own solo thing. So first the EQ again. Yeah, pretty much mids in that. We won't need them. Again, we're filtering till the body kind of turns up. So in this case it's around 60 something. 64. Okay. Here we have this thing we don't need. Of course, it's 500 something. Yeah, that's awful. Now we can clean up the 200 area. I don't like that area in toms anyway, so yeah. I can boost some highs again. I'll actually boost just the air a little in the toms. I like that thing. Not everyone does, but kind of my thing to do. And there's the stick attack. So that we kind of have a good attack on the toms. Again, they sound pretty cool, so probably they'll work with almost no treatment. Okay, with the toms, I'll go with the C2 again. I'll just bring up my snare settings, and I'll just kind of back the threshold up so that I have just a little gain reduction, because I don't like over compressed toms. They sound awful and they just drown in the mix. So yeah, we just need just a little so that they're just glued together. Yeah, that's pretty nice. And again, the distortion, the tape simulator, I mean saturation, right? Same stuff, absolutely. We could just go a little lighter on toms, because the saturation will give some harmonics on in the mid-range that we don't need in the tom sound. So just a little is just subtle. It's there and it's working. So yeah, probably I can just get away with cutting a little more mid-range. Yeah, that sounds cool. Okay, now let's put the snare and the toms into the parallel compression bus, and we'll see what happens. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, you see it kind of brings out a little more sustain. We're just doing this kind of close-eyed now, because we'll level things up when we have the whole kit kind of complete. So now I'm just throwing things in just to have all the effects on, to have them kind of working so that we have a starting point. Yeah, we don't need too much toms in this. Okay, now we can start giving a little reverb to the snare. Yeah, here it is. And now when we give overdo it pretty big, we start filtering out stuff from the reverb, because we absolutely don't need any low end in the reverb. So from 200 and up, it's it's the thing we need. Yeah. Now let's see. Yeah, I think we can go a little less with this one. You see, it's pretty metallic sounding, but that's not bad. And in the mix, it'll do its job. It'll kind of cut through. But still, I would filter some more out. Yeah. Yeah, I think this will work. So the same goes to toms. They go in the same reverb. Let's check it out. Yeah, that's enough for the moment. We'll see in the mix. And oh yeah, I forgot that we overdid the snare reverb a little. Yeah, sounds good. Okay. Let's save this. right? So now we're done with the kick, snare, toms. We can go to the whole overhead group. Let's listen to it and we'll see what we can do, because actually I don't really like to treat all the individual tracks like hi-hats, rides, or spot mics. I just balance the volume and then I treat all of the stuff just as a group bus, the overhead bus. Well, sounds pretty balanced to me. I would just maybe give the right a little more volume. I like bright big rides. Yeah, and probably I'll just filter a little of the high end from the individual hi-hat track. Let's just listen to it. Yeah, we don't need this because we'll have enough high frequency information from the overhead track. Yeah, you see, that's enough. So we don't need much here. We can just leave the body, and that's enough. Yeah, so that kind of works. So with the overheads first, of course, we'll equalize. I kind of feel that this song will get kind of a good vibe if we leave a little of the snare body in the overhead group. So just not to do this. What I would do, for example, to a death metal mix or something like very fast and furious. Here we can leave some body, and we can actually benefit from it. So I think, yeah, around 200, like with a very like wide slope, works. Yeah, now we can filter a little mids out. Don't really need that stuff. A little softer on the highs. And let's just swipe it and see what's going on. Yeah, this can go away too. Okay. Yeah, sounds good. I really like kind of, soft cymbal sounds. I don't really like harsh, like heavy hitting cymbals. I mean, not heavy hitting, like harsh hitting. So I always tend to soften the overheads, like overall sound. Kind of works better for me. Okay, so after this we can compress it just a bit. I use the Stillwell Bombardier. My pronunciation sucks today. So yeah, I have an evaluation version. It gives you like the whole product, but just gives you like a startup screen. But it's like 100% workable without any trial stuff going on there. So yeah, on the overhead track I go pretty like stupid. I just use the drum power preset, and I just go with a threshold to like maximum, I mean like minus infinite. And I just get the job done by the gain reduction range. So I just don't try to find a balance with the threshold and stuff. I just do this. Look at it. So now we don't have anything. And you see what it does? Yeah, here it is. But we just give it just a little so that it punches pretty hard, but only to one level, and that level is pretty high. So it's pretty subtle. You can hear it, but it's still subtle. Yeah. Just glues things together. That's what we need. And I also give it some saturation. Well, like everything. I give everything saturation. Again, we overdo it and then just back it off. Okay, so let's see what's going on with the overheads with different cymbals, right? Oh, this is a bit harsh. Okay, we don't really need this too. Again, the softer the better. I don't like this too. That may work, but we'll see in the mix. So let's mute the room tracks and just see what we have at the moment. Yeah, I could just let's put an equalizer on the drum bus, on the full drum bus, and we'll just see what we can do. Because I mean, I was listening to all this with the same ears, so probably I was boosting the same stuff here and there, and I just kind of feel that the kind of low side of things overall is a bit too much. So I'll just take the drum bus and just clean it up there. Yeah, kind of like that. I'll also just swipe the highs a little down. I was always a fan of those of the sound when drums sound like under a cloth, kind of when they have kind of an under a cloth kind of sound. Never liked super trebly cymbals and that stuff. This sounds more kind of rocky, but I use it in metal also, and I think it really benefits to the whole mix and to the kind of to the thump of the mix, because it sounds heavier actually and bigger. It sounds definitely bigger because you give it more kind of room, because the more high frequencies you have in the mix, the more like it's closer to your face. So we were kind of keeping the distance by bringing down the highs and giving you more size. Okay, we'll leave it as it is at the moment. And now one thing I like to do is give the snare some fire with the room 1, because the room 2 will generally just glue up the whole drum sound. I'm not really doing much to it, just filtering a little, compressing a little, and just putting it like down in the mix just so that it glues up the stuff. So we'll mute it at the moment. And with the room 1, the first thing I'll do is I'll take the Cubase basic stereo enhancer, and I'll make this track almost mono, but not like around 40, so that it's like narrow but not mono. Yeah, it was this. Now it's this. So I just wanted more concentrated because we'll be using it like almost only for the snare drum. And we'll have the snare actually triggering it with a gate. Okay, first we'll, of course, equalize it. We don't need any lows here, because mainly this is just a snare track. Something like this can work. We'll see. So we just take the gate, set it to an expander mode. We bring up the floor a little so that we don't just have it like going into nowhere. We still have the information below, I mean the whole room information, but we just have a massive boost where when the snare kicks in. So we put this into sidechain mode. We take the snare drum and drive the sidechain with the snare. Just to see what it does, we'll put the pre-fader now so that we can just move the snare all the way back and just hear what it's doing to the room track. See, this is what it does. So the room track kind of works only when the snare hits. Yeah. This is what we want. We're sending, oh yeah, we're sending this, let's bring up the snare again. We're sending this room a little to the reverb bus, just a little, just for the feel. Yeah. And now we're kind of, I think, let's even do this before the gate. We'll kind of crush it a little with distortion. Yeah, I think I'll be using the Waves driver thing. It's really like super stupid, but works really awesome. So let's just try it. Yeah, see? Yeah, this will work. And just give it some basic compression. We'll be kind of treating it like a snare drum. Just to a more crushed one. Oh, sorry. Yeah, see what it's doing here. It's actually giving the snare its a new body. So yeah, we can just filter a little here and there. But as you can see, the snare became bigger, and probably I would boost a little more high end on the snare because it's getting a little kind of it's diving under stuff. Yeah. Okay, now we're going post fader again. Yep. Okay, this is going to drums, and now the room 2. We're filtering it pretty harsh, so it'll look kind of like this. Oops, sorry. Hey, what's going on? Oh, all right. So it's just here to just glue things up. So Yeah, and also it'll help the snare a bit. Let's see how it works in the mix. Yeah, we can take it even lower. Yeah. I'll take a little more highs out of the overheads. Too much in my taste. Okay, this is a high shelf. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So you see it's kind of under a cloth kind of thing. Something in the mid-range. Yeah. We don't need this. So as you can see, I'm not actually too surgical to things because I like more going kind of with the vibe of the song. I'm more of a vibe guy than a surgical, like super tight mix kind of thing. I like to go with the vibe. It may be a little like dirtier than some people's mixes, but I like when it kind of pounds just your head so that you can hear you can feel the power and not like hear every single thing going on. I mean, you'll still hear everything, but the thing is, I like really powerful mixes, and I'm trying to achieve that. We'll get the overhead track into the compressor just a little so that it pumps a little there and it gives a cool kind of feel. You see? Just a little. Just to balance it. You can also try actually filtering a little highs from the compressor. Yeah, just to soften things. And now we can make the snare a little bigger, like to add reverb and a little compression, the parallel compression. Yeah, okay, now we have like a rough drum mix. Not too rough, I mean, this is already a big part of it. So we're going to add bass guitar to the mix. Yeah, here we have it. Okay, first thing I'll do to bass is I'll compress this bass heavy clean track, the DI track, right? Oh, actually, let's equalize it first. Again, yeah, mono. What I'll do to this DI track is I'll filter out all the highs. We're just getting the low information. Yeah, like 350, 330 something. Now, what I'll do is I'll just classic compressor. Yeah, just to even that thing out. That's everything we need from this track. Now the distortion track. We don't need compression on this one. It's compressed enough. We're just like filtering stuff out. We don't need the low end here because we are using it from the DI track. So I'm filtering till 300 just to leave a little like cross something. Okay. And now we're sending it. Yeah. Just balancing it. Well, it's pretty balanced already. Now we're taking the bass group track, and now everything I'll do in the group track. Yeah, and with this channel, we just leave it as it is. Okay. a little more EQ. So here we're filtering out everything like till where the kick lives, actually, so till 60 is okay. Anyway, here's the body of the bass, right? So we're filtering that till 80. Yeah. Okay. I'll filter the highs. Some people don't do it. I really don't like trebly high basses, like jumping out of the mix. Makes me crazy. So this is enough. Like 6,000 maximum. There are some spikes here. Yeah, we won't be needing this. And just a dip in the 500-y. Just to give it a little kind of dimension. Okay. We're cleaning out the 150 something. Again, just to keep things clean. After this, I'll be just compressing it with the TubeTech CL1B, the Softube thing. I think this is Softube, right? Probably. Okay. TubeTech CL1B. Yeah, this is simple as hell. Just the bass preset. It works totally fine. Kind of the same thing that I used to dial in by myself, but then I was just playing with some new plugins, and just clicked this, and I was like, oh, okay, works awesome. Now the next thing I'll do is I'll use the C1 compressor side chain thing. That's just actually just some kind of a multi-band compressor with just sorry, just one second. Yeah, I have my preset here. So as you can see, this is just like a 2-band compressor. I'm not touching the first band. I'm touching only the second one. It starts from, let's see, from 200 and to 0. So this is just a compressor of the low frequencies. It just brings out the low end and tames the mids and highs a little. So let's see. Just evened out the bass sound. After this, I'll put a limiter, just the L1 standard stuff. I'll just drive it till that place where it just starts kind of evening things out even better. There. Okay, now I'll use the R bass again. For bass, yeah, I go around 80 something. Yeah, you see, now it's bass. Especially when mixing songs where the bass plays the same notes as the guitar. I mean, in the same octave for some down-tuned like F, E stuff, and even lower, where the bass is not tuned an octave lower and plays the same thing as the guitar. The R bass really helps out, because without it, the bass just starts to sound like a third guitar, or the guitars as new basses. I don't know. So yeah, the R bass immediately immediately makes the bass really a bass. Yeah. And after this, I'll use this little thing here. It's called Track Spacer. Got it like a long time ago. Really love this thing. Use it for different stuff, for electronic music, also like for vocals. I mean, it cleans up space in the mix for vocals. Just awesome. So we'll put this into sidechain, and well, yeah, we can just filter out some frequencies. What this thing will do, it'll just duck the frequencies of the kick drum in the bass guitar. So when the kick drum is playing, it'll just duck some lows out of the bass, the lows that the kick drum is using, so that we don't have any like interference, and the bass just sits in the mix with the kick like perfectly. So we're just sending the kick drum into this sidechain, like just on the 0. It'll work. And let's see what it does. Yeah, you see, this is of course overdone, but you can just get the point. We just need a little of it so that it just keeps things even again. Okay, let's listen. Okay, probably too much kind of high mid information for me in the bass. I wouldn't do this. Yeah, this is better. Okay, we're leaving it as it is. Now we're going to guitars. So, the first thing I want to talk about... sorry, I forgot the saturation on the bass. We'll put it before the track spacer. Same thing as always. So just... yeah, we needed that. Sorry. Okay, now what we'll do with the guitars, actually, just super little. I don't really like overdoing guitars. So 1 and 2. I do it around 80. So yeah, that was right. And this around 10. Just like slice out a little. Kind of sounds good already, right? Again, we're taking out a little of the 150 thing. Don't need that here. We're leaving that for the low end stuff. Okay. Now just a C4 to tame the lows. So we're just bypassing everything, and from 200 and below. Yeah, this is what I'm doing. And again, some saturation. Same thing here. You see what it does, right? Not so subtle here. Kind of just brings it out a little more life. Okay. One more little thing I'll do is I'll actually have just kind of a stupid compressor here, just on a preset. Nothing really interesting here, but this is the guitar, by the way. But we're taking the kick drum, sending it into that compressor of the guitar just a little, just to glue it up, so that the guitar ducks just a little under the kick drum, just a little. It's kind of artificial kind of pumping, if you could call it like that. So, okay. Okay, this is too much. Don't really like the amount of the room 1 thing going on. I think we can lower down the floor. Actually, just lower it in the mix. Yeah, sounds better. I can give it a little more reverb. Now what I'll do is I'll just go to the mix bus. I'll just have a little equalization. Sorry, just to get the harsh parts out of it. Yeah, we don't need that. But as you can see, the mix is pretty much even in the whole frequency range. Just this snare thing is a little overwhelming. But it's not a bad thing. I actually even like it. You see here, the kick is a little taking up too much space, so probably I'll just do this. So it's just a new equalizer on the kick. Yeah. And I'll just automate it on and off. So we have it off, and in this part we'll just turn it on. And we'll turn it off after this part. No, a little too early. Okay. Yeah, sounds nice. Oh my god. Toms are going crazy here. Okay, we don't need that much. Yeah, that was just a volume issue. Maybe even a little less. Yeah, sounds nice to me. we could work with the overheads a little more. Or we could actually, there's one more thing you could do to the overheads. We'll just try to kind of soften them with the Waves driver one knob thing. Yeah, you see they're kind of, because of this kind of soft distortion, they get more high mids and like less highs. Yeah, it got a little softer. Pretty nice, so we can even bring it up in volume. Yeah. Yeah, there is a little stupid frequency going on here. Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, cool. Okay, now we can limit the toms just a bit. Just a bit. Limit the snare just a bit. Well, yeah, it kind of works for me. So that was my whole mixing process. Hope you like it. That's how I do my stuff. This is pretty fast and raw, to be honest. But of course, I would revisit this mix like in a day or two and see what can be redone or what shouldn't be redone. But basically, this is my workflow and this is how I do stuff. So if you like it and you want more, just comment this video and subscribe, like, do everything you want. And I'll see you later. Bye bye.